Welcome, everybody, to Camp Dolphins All Access. Steve Goldstein along with Kim Bocamper. Music to my ears, Bo. How does this sound? We are in a game week for the Dolphins. Preseason opener against Atlanta at Hard Rock is on Friday night. Tuesday and Wednesday, we get into those all-important joint practices. Let's start off, Bo. Talk a little bit about this roster. We heard from defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, said, hey, looking for some guys on the interior of that line. We see some roster shuffling, and Dolphins continue to bring in depth at the cornerback position as well.
Yeah, you know what's unique about this? You know, you've had some situations in here. Look at the cornerback situation. You know, you come in, you got Jalen Ramsey on one side, you got X on the other side, and all of a sudden, day one, Ramsey is gone, and lo and behold, a day later, boom, they brought in Eli Apple. This organization isn't wasting time if they lose somebody, bringing somebody in. They've done the same thing this week. They brought in some defensive linemen because they're not quite happy, not quite completely happy with, look, the starters, the three front guys, Davis, Wilkins, Sealer, happy with those guys. Beyond that, gets a little dicey when it comes to the defensive line. Same thing now in the secondary. You came in feeling like you were pat there. Now, look, you've got a rotation of these corners coming in. You got Igbenogany getting more opportunities. Trill Williams is going to get his chances. Kader Kahu is playing well out there. Cam Smith. So you got a rotation there looking to be the guy opposite X when the season begins, and they're going to bring more guys in at the safety position to find out somebody that's going to fit in there. So they're looking for depth. The good thing is their starters in those positions, especially defensively, pretty sound. It's once you get back to the next level where you got to kind of look around for a little bit more, a little nugget that falls out of a tree for you, if you will.
And it's safety.
That's
Brandon
right.
Jones coming off that injury still. We haven't seen him at full force yet, so kind of wait on that. No rush to Sean Elliott, a free agent pickup. A little bit on the offensive line here, Bo. You know, we're seeing that left guard position. Everybody hoped Liam Eichenberg would take some ownership there. We're seeing a little rotation in practice. Austin Jackson hurt most of last year trying to maintain his spot at the right tackle. How big of a week is this with the joint practices and the game for those offensive linemen?
For those two guys in particular, this is a huge, huge week for them. Liam Eichenberg, look, give him this. He's been going against Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer and Raekwon
That's
Davis.
tough every day, isn't it?
Every single day. Now, that shouldn't make him better, you know. Iron makes iron stronger, you know. But so this will be the opportunity for him to go up to Atlanta and not have to play against Christian Wilkins and play against a normal guy and see where he stands. I think it's big for him. And the same thing on the other side. I think Austin Jackson, at this point, pretty much got a lock on that position. And the only way I think he loses it if he goes into these games, goes into the preseason games, goes into the joint practices, and just doesn't play well, just you know, kind of poops in the bed a little bit. Then it's going to be a problem. But I think he gets his way through. The guy that's the big concern right now is that left guard position in Eichenberg. You'd like to have these things solidified before the second preseason game and let those five guys mature together. Now look, you go in the have the scrimmage, second play, snap over the head of Tua Tonga Vailoa. So you know Connor Williams has got to play well early, because if you remember last year, he was having some issues with high snaps. So, but a lot less of an issue this year. It's those two other guys we got to look at.
Yeah, and you look at some of the players they brought in on the veteran side. Isaiah Wynn there on that offensive line. Dan Feeney came in from the Jets, and Cedric Ogbuehi also getting some reps there in practice. So got some veteran guys in there that have been around this league, that have moved around the line as well. Wide receiver. We know about Tyreek. We know about Jalen Waddle. But, Bo, after that, we got a battle. You got some talented guys who produce in this league, in Braxton Berrios, Robbie Chosen, Cedric Wilson now in his second year. And then you got some young guys trying to make the team. Big week for these guys?
They normally keep 6 receivers. And you know, you've got 4 of them are pretty much locked in there, right? And then it comes down, you know, I think Berrios is going to be here simply by the fact that he's going to return kicks and punts, take some relief from that from some of the other receivers, and he can work the middle. But I mean, you look at Robbie Chosen. You know, he's done some good things, done some not so good things. Same with Cedric. He's, you know, kind of been there. So they got to find somebody, that next guy that's going to step up because there's only, in my mind, there's one spot available. You know, going into these preseason games, and so it's going to be a dogfight. And you know, sometimes during the preseason, you like to see dogfights, especially in a position like that where guys are hungry and they want to go after the football. But that's a key spot for them. You know, that receiving, if they make the right decisions, that could be a very, very good receiving room for this team. The other thing I'm concerned a little bit from the passing game, kind of who's going to be that tight end that's going to step up and be a guy that can complement your passing game, not as much as you're looking for a guy that's blocking downfield or blocking the line of scrimmage.
Couple of practices with the Falcons, and on Friday night on CBS Miami and CBSMiami.com, preseason game number 1. We'll be in the booth for it at Hard Rock. It's the Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons. For Kim Beaucamper, I'm Steve Goldstein. That'll do it for this edition of Camp Dolphins All Access.